Her smile, her name, it was known around the world. Yet what we know of Farrah Fawcett was only a fraction of who she was.
I'm constantly surprised when people give me titles like that.
In 2025, Farrah Fawcett's name is everywhere again. Her sculptures just sold for $500,000 at auction. Young celebrities are copying her iconic hair.
The hair was the first thing that entered the room. It was like, hair.
Salons report a 40% jump in requests for the Farrah flip. But that's not why people are talking. New revelations about her final years are surfacing. The truth about how Hollywood really treated her is coming out. What they did to her behind the scenes will shock you. She wasn't just a pretty face. She was fighting battles nobody knew about. Farrah Fawcett came into the world as Mary Farrah Lenny Fawcett on February 2, 1947, in Corpus Christi, Texas. She was the younger of two girls, raised in a small conservative home. Her mother, Pauline Alice, stayed at home and carried Choctaw roots. Her father, Kenyon Martin Fawcett, worked as an oil rig contractor. Money was never flowing easy, so the family learned to live simple. Farrah went to St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church School, and that strict Catholic air sat over everything. It built routine in her. It built rules in her. Her older sister, Diane, later changed her name to Donna. But in those early years, they were just two kids sharing the same narrow streets and the same family weight. Even as a little child, Farrah already had a spark that did not wait for permission. By age 5, she was winning local art contests. She was drawing and sculpting like someone older, like someone who had already found a secret door. That creative pull stayed with her, and as she grew, it mixed with something else too. When she reached W.B. Ray High School in Corpus Christi, she was not only the girl who could make art with her hands, she was also the girl everyone noticed the moment she walked in. All 4 years, she was voted most beautiful, not once, not twice, all 4. It was rare, and it shaped her confidence in a quiet way. Teachers saw the discipline in her as well. She had that steady focus people remember later, after the fame, when they look back and say they always knew. So when 1965 came, she won a beauty scholarship to the University of Texas at Austin. She arrived thinking of microbiology. That was the plan on paper. She lived at Mayfair House on Pearl Street, joined the Delta 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 sorority, and tried to settle into campus life. But life does not always follow the first plan. Her photo kept getting attention. She was named one of the 10 most beautiful co-eds, and a Hollywood publicist saw it. It was like a switch flipped. At 18, she made a choice that shocked people back home. In 1967, she dropped out and moved to Los Angeles, chasing acting with more hope than safety. She did not have a big family push behind her. She just had a strong inner pull, and she followed it anyway. Los Angeles did not welcome her with open arms. It tested her first. Casting rooms said no again and again. Work was thin, so she took what she could. She became a shampoo girl. She did print ads. She lived light and careful while trying to get seen. Then, in 1969, she did something bold that split opinion fast. She posed for Esquire in a nude shoot. It hit like a shockwave. Some people called it brave. Others called it career suicide. The backlash was loud enough to make her feel she might have ruined her shot before it had even started. Still, the attention made her impossible to ignore, and doors that were closed began to crack open. Around the same time, her hair became part of her story. In the early 1970s, she leaned into a feathered style that felt natural to her, like the beach waves she loved as a Texas kid. Casting people first rolled their eyes. They felt she looked too all-American, too clean, too easy to label. But the world did not care about their doubt. That look became a wave. Posters and magazines sold in the millions, and her hair turned into a symbol of the decade. What they called a problem became the thing that made her unforgettable. Yet inside all that shine, Farrah carried a shy core. She felt it even as fame grew. Her parents still wanted her to come home, to stop chasing Hollywood dreams that felt risky and strange to them. In 1968, she even tried stepping away for a bit. She went to Japan to model, hoping a new place might open new paths. Instead, it gave her loneliness and culture shock. It taught her how heavy fame could feel when you are far from home. She came back clearer. If she was going to do this, she would do it her way. Back in Los Angeles, the pace picked up fast. In the summer of 1968, she signed with a major modeling agency within 2 weeks. By the end of that year, she had already appeared in over 100 TV commercials. Max Factor, Noxzema, one after another. People started calling her the girl next door. But even then, she had a line she would not cross. Playboy came calling. Other offers came too. Big money offers. She refused them all. Agents pressured her hard. Because nude shoots were a shortcut to quick fame back then, she still said no. It cost her jobs in the short run, but it also made her stand out as someone who would not let the industry decide her whole shape. Her first film step came in 1969 with a French comedy called Love is a Funny Thing. Claude Lelouch directed it, and it was filmed in the United States with scenes shot in Old Tucson, Arizona. The film premiered in France on December 3, 1969. Her role was tiny, just a college student with no spoken lines, but it gave her a real feel of a set and a director's pressure. It was a quiet start, yet it was a start. Then, in 1970, she landed her first speaking role in Myra Breckinridge, playing Mary Ann opposite Raquel Welch. The movie pulled from Gore Vidal's novel and carried heavy controversy. The set was messy. The story was explicit. The film later became known more for chaos than craft. Farrah would call it Hollywood's sleaziest project years later. She felt pushed into it by her boyfriend at the time, Lee Majors, and she felt it stayed on her skin in a way she did not want. The film flopped, but it also made her name bigger. Fame can rise even when the work hurts. Between 1969 and 1970, she took guest roles on shows like The Flying Nun and Mayberry RFD. The parts were small, and the crowds liked her. But behind the camera, a pattern kept repeating. Lines were rewritten to spotlight her looks more than her acting. She felt boxed in. She felt reduced. That frustration built a new hunger in her. She started wanting roles with more weight, parts where she could prove she was more than a pretty face. Her personal life was moving fast, too. In 1968, she met Lee Majors on an Italian film set. Their romance caught fire and turned into a headline machine. It boosted her visibility, but it also brought pressure. Majors reportedly wanted her to quit modeling and focus only on him and their relationship. Friends noticed the control hiding behind the charm. Farrah did not fold. She kept working. Still, that stress planted cracks that would grow later. Then, 1976 arrived like a thunderclap. Farrah released a red swimsuit poster shot by Bruce McBroom. It exploded. Over 12 million copies sold, making it the best-selling poster in U.S. history. At one point, over 6 million copies moved in the first year alone. The image turned her into a cultural symbol overnight. But while the world celebrated, she felt uneasy. She hated being treated like an object. She fought to add more artistic touches in later shoots, even slipping in her own sculptures, trying to pull the focus back toward her mind and not only her body. That same year, she landed Jill Monroe on Charlie's Angels. The show premiered on September 22, 1976, on ABC. By the end of Season 1, it pulled in about 59% of TV viewers. That is nearly the whole country leaning toward one screen. Farrah turned into a global face almost overnight. People even joked that her hair made the show. Yet the days were brutal. The shoots stretched to 18 hours. The press never left her alone. And even with all that, she was paid only $5,000 per episode, less than people expected for someone carrying that much weight. The pressure grew until it snapped. Farrah wanted better scripts. She wanted Jill to feel smarter and deeper. Producers wanted her image more than her voice. At home, majors grew jealous of her fame, and the fights added another layer of strain. By the end of the first season, she had already decided she wanted out. So in 1977, after only 8 episodes, she left. The move shocked Hollywood. She walked away from a contract that could have brought her around $7 million. Producers tried to stop her with a raise to $10,000 per episode. Still, she said no. She had a different math in her head. Her poster alone had earned her about $400,000 in royalties that year, more than her whole season's salary. She asked for 10% of merchandising profits instead of the 2% she was getting. They refused. Then they hit back hard with a $13 million lawsuit and pushed for her to be blacklisted. The fight dragged on, loud and public. In the end, they settled. She returned for 6 guest appearances, but the damage was real. The industry did not like stars who challenged power. Farrah paid for that courage with years of cold shoulders. Still, her stand changed things. It showed how even the biggest star could be used, and how important it was for actors to fight for their own image rights. By the end of 1977, her face was everywhere. Lunchboxes, board games, dolls, and more. Millions of dollars were pouring in for everyone around her. Farrah Fawcett stepped into Logan's Run in 1976, right after her rise on Charlie's Angels. But the moment she appeared as Jessica, something felt off. People expected the sparkle she carried on TV, yet what they saw felt vacant and wooden. The movie looked huge with its sets, its sci-fi shine, its release on June 23, 1976, and stars like Michael York and Jenny Agutter pulling the story forward. Even with a box office of $25 million, reviews kept circling back to Farrah. They said she was the weak spot. She had been rushed into the role after leaving Angels, barely given time to prepare, and it showed. For the first time since fame hit her, she stumbled right in front of everyone. Then came Somebody Killed Her Husband in 1978. It was supposed to be a mystery. Instead, it turned into a punchline. The movie made only $11 million on a $4 million budget, and critics mocked it so much that someone even joked the title should have been Somebody Killed Her Career. Farrah shared the screen with her husband Lee Majors, but the kiss scenes sparked rumors about their private life. Their marriage was already cracking under pressure, and her fast-rising fame did not help. By 1979, they were separated, and by 1982, the divorce was final. The film's failure, mixed with the mess at home, showed how hard fame can twist everything when the spotlight shifts too fast. In Sunburn, in 1979, Farrah tried something bold. She played a con artist in Acapulco and even did her own risky water stunts. But the movie failed to rise. It earned only $6.7 million, and the nude scenes drew more criticism than curiosity. She later said she regretted doing them. Critics piled on, calling the film messy and giving her a Razzie nomination for Worst Actress. It hurt because she had tried to break out of her Angels image, yet every choice she made seemed to pull her deeper into roles that did not fit her. Saturn III arrived in 1980 with Kirk Douglas and Harvey Keitel by her side. But the troubles began long before the release. The set was tense, and Farrah was pushed toward explicit scenes she never felt safe doing. One graphic scene with Keitel was cut, after test audiences reacted badly. Even then, she carried the weight of being pressured into it. The movie made only $6.5 million and earned Razzie nominations, including another for her acting. It was a low point, one that marked how badly the chase for film stardom was treating her. things changed for a moment with the Cannonball Run in 1981. The film exploded at the box office with $100 million, but success came wrapped in pain. During the shoot in June 1980, her stunt double Heidi von Beltz got into a crash caused by a car with faulty steering and no seat belts. She was left quadriplegic. Farrah was shaken by it. The accident stayed with her for years and pushed her to step away from physical roles. Even in a hit, she felt the cost of Hollywood's rush. By the early 1980s, typecasting wrapped around her like a trap. She turned down roles, even a Bond girl, hoping for something serious. Agents whispered that her fame was fading. By 1981, she was auditioning for soap operas just to stay afloat. Bad investments drained her bank accounts. She hid her struggles behind a smile, but she knew she was reaching the bottom. It was painful because she had once been everywhere. And now she was fighting just to be seen as more than a pretty face in a poster. Everything shifted again in 1984. She took the role of Francine Hughes in The Burning Bed, a real woman who set her abusive husband on fire. Filming was intense. She rehearsed for 2 weeks, let herself be locked in a closet for half an hour to feel the fear, and endured long courtroom scenes sitting in hard-backed chairs to mirror her character's discomfort. The climactic scream was done in a single take and left the crew silent. When the film aired on October 8, 1984, people realized she was not just the woman from a swimsuit poster. She earned an Emmy nomination. It felt like the moment she became a real dramatic actress. Later that same year, she appeared in The Guardian, playing a defense attorney fighting child abuse cases. Her performance had a raw edge, but NBC cut some of her strongest scenes to meet broadcast rules. It frustrated her. Only 6 episodes aired. Still, audiences felt the intensity she brought, even through the edits. It showed how she always tried to push deeper, even when the system pulled her back. A year earlier, she had taken on the brutal Broadway play Extremities in 1983. She played a woman who turns the tables on her attacker. The fights were so real, she walked off stage each night with actual bruises. Security guards stood near the stage because the audience sometimes thought they needed to step in. She needed therapy after shows to process the emotions, but the role changed everything. Critics saw her bravery. People saw her seriousness. It marked the moment she broke her old image for good. In 1986, she returned to the same story for the film version of Extremities. James Russo played her attacker, and together they filmed scenes where the slaps and hits were real. After the original director was fired, she improvised most of her lines. Around 70% of the dialogue came from her instincts, not the script. The movie made $10 million and earned her a Golden Globe nomination. It stirred debates about violence against women, but it also proved she could carry something dark and heavy with real force. Small Sacrifices in 1989 pushed her even further. She played Diane Downs, a mother who shot her own children in 1983. Farrah studied trial transcripts and news footage and shaped a performance so chilling it earned her another Emmy nomination. People argued about the ethics of portraying real criminals, but no one doubted her skill. She showed how far she had come from the early days when critics called her wooden. Now she was the one carrying entire films on her back. In 1991, she joined Ryan O'Neal in Good Sports, but behind the scenes, things fell apart. O'Neal's alcoholism caused rewrites and delays. Only 17 episodes aired. Farrah often held scenes together by improvising when he could not perform. The show died after 1 season, but her professionalism impressed everyone around her. She kept moving, even when everything else stumbled. Then came Ruby Cairo. In 1992, she played a widow chasing her husband's secret fortune from country to country. The film had a $15 million budget, but earned only $7.7 million and lost $9 million. Critics blamed the plot and her uneven accent. The failure cut deep. she stepped away from acting for a while and turned fully to sculpting, something she had quietly loved for years. In 1997, she surprised the art world with a solo show of 19 bronze sculptures of male nudes. Some pieces were priced at $300,000, with markings like Farrah 7/9 carved into them. Critics argued about the work. Some compared her detail to Rodin. Others brushed it off as a celebrity hobby. Still, collectors bought them, and she pushed forward like someone determined to be taken seriously in a new world. In 1997, she also joined Robert Duvall in The Apostle, filmed in rural Louisiana. He liked to improvise scenes while she preferred preparation. It caused tension. Reshoots dragged on. She even faced financial strain because of her own investment in the movie. Still, the film earned praise for its authenticity. It also showed how much she was willing to risk for roles that mattered. In 1998, she stepped briefly into Ally McBeal as Robin Jones. Her scenes were funny and sharp, and fans enjoyed her playful nods to her angel's past. She chose not to stay for a full season. Instead, she chased deeper roles like the one in Hollywood Wives in 2003. She wanted complexity over comfort. Around this time, she appeared in The Cookout in 2004 as a wealthy socialite barging into a barbecue. It had a budget of $16 million and made only $12 million. Critics gave it 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. People said Hollywood simply did not want to cast older actresses in serious roles. Farrah felt that weight. She kept moving anyway. In 2005, she let cameras follow her in Chasing Farrah. It showed her art studio, her loneliness after her breakup with Ryan O'Neal, and the quiet moments that fame never reveals. Ratings were modest, but her honesty drew attention. She was no longer hiding behind a perfect image. She was letting people see the person. Farrah Fawcett married Lee Majors on July 28, 1973, and the whole thing looked like a dream unfolding inside the Hotel Bel Air. She loved Indian culture, so the wedding glowed with bright colors, music, and rituals that made the place feel almost unreal. Celebrities filled the hall, cameras flashed. Everyone called them Hollywood royalty because their love began in 1968 and kept growing through the early years. For a while, it felt steady, almost perfect. But by 1979, the cracks were too big to hide. Lee's fame as the $6 million man clashed with Farrah's rise on Charlie's Angels. His jealousy grew loud. He demanded dinners on time. He locked her out of their own home more than once. Their careers kept them apart, and their fights pushed them farther. In 1982, the marriage ended. Fans could not believe it because they had once looked like the couple that would last forever. After the divorce, Farrah stepped into a new storm when she fell for Ryan O'Neal in 1979. Their romance burned bright, and then dimmed, then came back again for almost 30 years. They loved each other deeply, but they also argued, and their bond shook often. In 1985, their son Redmond arrived, pulling them together again. Still, Ryan's reputation for wandering never left him. It finally hit Farrah in the most painful way. On Valentine's Day in 1997, she surprised Ryan at his Malibu home and walked in to find him with a young actress named Leslie Stephenson. Ryan panicked so fast, he tried to pull on his pants and ended up putting both legs in one hole while Leslie hid under the covers. Farrah stood calmly for a moment, asked Leslie her name, and then left the room. Later, she said she felt devastated, but not surprised. Their relationship never fully recovered. That same year, Farrah decided she would not stay silent when she discovered she had been underpaid for her Emmy-nominated performance in Small Sacrifices. She sued her own production company in 1997 and proved in court that they owed her more. She won $1.5 million. Hollywood did not know what to do with that because stars rarely sued their own employers over residuals. People pulled away from her, some quietly and some openly, but she gained respect for fighting for her worth. It showed everyone that she would choose fairness over comfort every time. Her strength was tested again when producer-director James Orr assaulted her during a fight in 1997. Reports said he slammed her head to the ground. She was injured. He was arrested and convicted. Farrah testified in court and exposed how easily powerful men could use their position to harm women. The case pulled national attention and pushed new conversations about the treatment of women in the entertainment world. Then there was Greg Lott, a quiet presence in her life who remained hidden from the public for decades. Farrah first met him at the University of Texas. Their bond stretched over 30 years, mostly in secret. They reconnected in 1998, and he became her emotional anchor while she struggled with Ryan. Only after her death did people learn how deep it ran. Her will left him $100,000, confirming everything he had claimed. It surprised fans who had always seen her through a glamorous lens. The truth showed a softer and more private side of her heart. Her personal world kept shaking in the 1980s and 1990s as rumors about drug addiction followed her. People whispered, mostly because of Ryan's own history with substance abuse. Farrah secretly entered rehab in 1982 and dealt with her struggles quietly. For years, she kept it hidden. Then, in 1997, she spoke about it in a Playboy interview, trying to remove the shame around addiction. Her honesty surprised many and helped fans see her as human rather than a distant icon. In September 2006, her life shifted again when she was diagnosed with stage 0 anal cancer at 59. The tumor was described as the size of a strawberry. She started chemoradiation at UCLA and refused a colostomy because she wanted to keep her quality of life. By February 2, 2007, which was her 60th birthday, doctors said she was cancer-free. She celebrated but stayed cautious. She did not want the world to know yet. Then, in May 2007, the cancer returned quickly and spread to her liver. It shocked everyone, including her doctors, because the recurrence came with a speed they did not expect. After that, she chose to turn her pain into something visible. She asked her friend Alana Stewart to record everything as she fought through treatment. At first, Alana hesitated, but Farrah pushed for honesty. The footage became Farrah's story in 2009, and almost 9 million people watched it on NBC. The documentary showed her hospital visits, her hair loss, her sleepless nights, and the reality that many patients hide. She wanted people to see the truth, not the polished version the world usually gets. Still searching for hope, Farrah traveled to Germany in 2007 for experimental treatments at the University Clinic in Frankfurt. Some said she received stem cell therapy that was banned in the United States. No one fully confirmed the details, but the treatments were painful and controversial. She faced language barriers, criticism from American doctors, and long days filled with uncertainty. Even so, many patients admired her courage because she dared to look beyond standard options. During her final months, she carried more than illness. Cher revealed in her 2025 memoir that Farrah wanted to spend her last days at Cher's Malibu home close to the ocean. Cher said Ryan refused and told her that Farrah could stay at his place instead if she wanted the sea. It added a complicated layer to the final part of her story. Ryan and Alana stayed with her until the end. Yet Cher's revelation made people wonder how much Farrah endured even in her final moments. Her will from 2007 left $4.5 million to Redmond and left Ryan out at first. Later, he received $25,000 for art, but most of her estate went to her son and her father. She also set aside $3.3 million for the Farrah Fawcett Foundation, which became her biggest legacy. The foundation grew into a strong force in cancer research, raising more than $10 million by 2025 and supporting over 100 studies around the world. She stayed involved until she could no longer speak. Her push for affordable care and alternative research changed the way people viewed celebrity philanthropy. Farrah died on June 25, 2009, at 9:28 in the morning at St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica. Ryan and Alana were beside her. Her funeral took place on June 30th at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels. She was buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park next to Rodney Dangerfield. Friends from her Charlie's Angels days came to honor her. Fans mourned her not just for her beauty, but for her courage in letting the world see her pain. By 2025, her legacy kept growing. Her foundation held a Tex-Mex Fiesta Gala, attended by stars like Martina McBride, and raised record funds. Her iconic feathered haircut made a comeback that same year. Salons reported a 40% jump in requests for the Farrah Flip after Cher's memoir brought renewed attention to her style. Young celebrities copied the look on red carpets, and stylists updated it with softer layers and heat protectant sprays to fit modern life. Even the Charlie's Angels franchise leaned on her old blueprint. The 2000 and 2019 reboots used her as the model for strong, independent, connected female leads. In 2025, Cher revealed that Farrah had dreamed of another reboot before she died. Fans revisited old interviews and behind-the-scenes clips, remembering how she shaped the entire spirit of the franchise. Meanwhile, Redmond faced his own struggles. Since 2008, he has dealt with repeated arrests tied to addiction. Farrah's will placed his $4.5 million in a trust that gave him interest only for medical expenses, hoping it would protect him. Still, his troubles became part of her legacy too. A reminder of how even deep love and financial security cannot guarantee peace. In November 2025, photos of Farrah and Ryan's joint gravesite went viral. They rest side by side at Westwood, and fans keep visiting, leaving flowers and notes. Around the same time, Farrah's sculptures sold at auction for up to $500,000, surprising people who never knew how talented she was with her hands. Cher's memoir, released on November 19, 2025, pushed her story into another wave of attention. The book retold the moment when Ryan denied Farrah her final wish for the ocean. People argued online, shared clips, posted old photos, and kept her name alive in new ways. Her life became a reminder of love, pain, fame, and bravery, all tangled together.